Hi, my name is Almat Kenzhebayev. I'm 37 years old. I was born and live in Kazakhstan. Currently married with three kids. And actually, all of my career, I was working in ROSEN Europe BV.
Mhm.
Started as an engineer. Now I'm a branch manager here for local team. And yeah, what else I should say?
Hmm.
I
If-
think most of the things you would know about me through the questions that you're going to ask me further.
Yes. So, why did you decide to study mechanical engineers for your bachelor degree?
Well, actually, my specialty sounds like technological machines and equipment for oil and gas fields. So initially, it's a mechanical engineering degree, but it's
Hmm.
initially in oil and gas industry. Yeah, I graduated from school back in 2004, and at that time, it's mid 2000s. Yeah, oil and gas was booming. Oh, obviously, yeah, the oil price was so high,
Yeah.
and Kazakhstan is obviously oil and gas country, so oil and gas was always something that we could offer you big career opportunities here in Kazakhstan. So I didn't have much choice actually because at the times I graduated from school, everybody tried to try to get to oil and gas industry because at that time it was very perspective.
Hmm. Interesting. And why later in your career, why did you decide to study your master's in University of Aberdeen, and why particular project management?
Well, I worked as a field engineer for a while, and then at the times, yeah, it was very nice job. I mean, I have traveled a lot worldwide.
Hmm.
I have visited countries you would never visit as a tourist. As a young guy, yeah, it was very interesting for a young guy. I mean, like you travel a lot, you earn decent money, you meet a lot of people, you change always areas, you change the country. It was very interesting. But yeah, time comes and you understand that you have to settle up. You have to find some office job to sit in at one place for a while, and yeah, at the times back, I guess 2015, when I was thinking what could be my further career development, I first to myself defined to myself that definitely I want to stay in Rosen because I love this company. I really love the culture. And I saw that there is a big opportunity to become a project manager. So I was looking for different kind of studies and decided that the project management could be a good option because actually, yeah, we had some vacancies, and I heard about that the project manager in Kazakhstan could be needed in nearest future. At the time, there was no project manager in Kazakhstan,
Hmm.
so I was actually the first project manager from Kazakhstan in Europe,
Hmm.
in Rosn Europe BV. Actually, I've been asked about this a lot of times. Why did you choose Aberdeen?
Hmm.
Uh, no, Aberdeen is actually it's worldwide oil and gas hub. So
Hmm.
yeah, I was actually expecting that while I was studying in Aberdeen University, I will meet a lot of professionals.
Hmm.
And actually, that was true because my classmates were mostly people with some experience in oil and gas. And that was very helpful during my career, actually, further.
Hmm. Interesting. And your career at ROSEN spans nearly 15 years. Can you share some key milestones that led you to your current role?
Well, I started back 2010 as a junior field engineer at Rosen,
Hmm.
which required a lot of traveling. Then I was gradually rising in my in my qualification. As I become a field engineer, then senior field engineer. I have then obtained different kind of qualifications, and in the end, as I said to you before,
Hmm.
I decided that it's time to move forward to the
Yes.
office, to some other roles, and that's why I started my study in Aberdeen. And
Hmm.
actually, that's one of the reasons that led me to become a project manager.
Hmm.
As a project manager, I was already not able, I was given responsibility for a team, for a project outcome. And that was a really great experience because one thing is when you're a technical guy who's responsible for a tool,
Hmm.
another thing when you are already responsible for a whole team of a project. After that, after some time, I was assigned as a project execution manager, sorry, business execution manager for the region.
Yeah.
And that was even more responsibility in terms of that now you're also responsible not only for one project, but for the whole bunch of projects executed in our region. So I was also involved more in financial and stakeholder management and so on. And initially, step by step, this led for me to becoming branch manager. So I really think that I had really good paths, starting from engineers and project manager, execution manager, because being a branch manager requires a lot of skills. And these skills you get just by experience from other professions, from other specialties, from other positions. So I would say I had really gradual, steady growth, which led to me to become a branch manager now.
Interesting. And what was one moment or one project you work on that you're the most proud of?
The most proud of, there's one project actually I was involved earlier and even involved nowadays. It's a oil inspection program in Tengiz oil field. It's the biggest oil field in Kazakhstan and also worldwide. I guess it's seventh biggest oil field in the world. It's a so-called super gigantic oil field. It's huge, producing massive amount of oil. And there's a big scope of highlight there, which not only requires MFL, magnetic flux leakage, but also some advanced inspection technologies. And during my work there, not only as a branch manager, but also as a project manager, also as a field engineer, we've done a lot of things there. We've implemented some new technologies there. We've done things that have been done first time in the world. I can actually say we've been we've been contracted to develop some technologies to inspect extremely high wall thickness pipelines for sour gas injection. And we actually managed to do that. We made the feasibility study. We managed to deliver a tool and even execute the inspection. It was successful. And already for years, it's being executed successfully. So I would say I'm really lucky to be part of this project. It is still ongoing, actually. If you heard, recently they completed the FGP project, Future Growth Plant. So oil output is going to be more. So this is a really huge project.
Yeah, that's very impressive. And as a branch manager, what leadership principles do you prioritize to ensure the success of your team and business operations?
Well, I personally, I'm a branch manager for only for about a year, yeah. So I'm also learning now. But the one thing that you should think about is leadership is not easy. When I transferred from more technical position to a managerial position, the very first thing I noticed that working with people is much harder than with tools, because tools, software, they have instructions. Yeah, yes or no, working or not working, that's all. And people are different. So I really try to be open with people. I really try to motivate people to work in team and work with open communication. And communication, in my phase, as I see it, is a main key to success. I try to urge people to learn more, to develop more. But again, this comes to communication, because if you don't speak to your people as a leader, trying to get to know what is their concerns, what is their needs, you won't be able to have a good communication of that. So I would say the main thing in my case is openness. So be open to your team, and that's one of the best things to be a leader.
That's great, thank you. And what are key trends and challenges facing the pipeline inspection industry today, and how do you see ROSEN adapting to these changes?
Well, it's the changes that I guess everybody see now a big impact from AI. That everybody see now. Yeah, even this recent news about DeepSeek and OpenAI. It's so big now. Even in our company is actually also utilizing that. AI is going to be great. It's going to be big. It's going to play a big role in every industry, also in our industry. And the ROSEN as a company, first thing they do for sure is invest a lot in digitalization. Without this, you cannot go forward for sure. So we invest a lot in hiring new people with higher skills in IT, in programming, and so on, and also invest in, I guess, in some IT things, AI things. I don't know yet for sure what exactly our company is doing, but I know for sure that our company is working in that direction because they understand that AI is the future. And without
Mhm.
AI involved into software and analyzation of data analytics, you won't be able to succeed in the future.
Yeah. And what strategies do you implement to ensure the highest standards of safety and compliance in pipeline integrity management?
Yeah, I would say the first thing is adherence to industry standards
Hmm.
like ISO and others. It's very critical. You have to follow the standards. You have to
Hmm.
do proper risk assessments, invest in training programs, and actually you have to always utilize best possible inspection technologies. So you
Hmm.
have to constantly drive forward innovation. Without that, you won't be able to meet the standards.
Hmm. Yes. And what would be your advice for young professionals interested in your type of career?
Well, I would say that's when I started in oil and gas,
Hmm.
that was really booming industry. But I guess there was during my career, there were two big slumps, back in 2008 when oil price dumped
Hmm.
from $200 USD, I guess, to 50. It was a big crisis, even for Kazakh economy. And I remember, if you remember, there was a big slump also back in 2014,
Hmm.
when also, as far as I heard also from my colleagues, even in Aberdeen, there was a big problem with job cuts and so on. So, but in general, it's like, yeah, you cannot predict what will be tomorrow. So that's why you have to be able to adapt. So adaptability is really
Hmm.
crucial skill for you
Hmm.
if you want to be successful in future. You may choose whatever, yeah, you may choose this path, but you have to be ready that in future you'll have to be changing something, maybe changing, acquiring new skills or something like that. Otherwise, there is a risk that you may stay behind. So always learn, always try to learn new things, be curious,
Hmm.
and that should be helpful for you in future.
Yeah. Thank you. That's a great advice. And are there any books or podcasts or resources you would recommend, particularly for your industry? Or maybe some books that you find interesting or motivating for you, not career related?
Well, I would say the industry books is really boring, especially in inspection. they they are really boring. But actually, yeah, recently I bought I think it's called Cultural Map by Evan Meyers. The book is called, yeah, Cultural Map by Evan Meyers. It's about different cultures and how people do different business in different cultures.
Hmm.
So she's like studying, researching the way people in different cultures do business.
Hmm.
And for me, it was really helpful because nevertheless, I am for years working in a multicultural environment. For something, it's sometimes you don't understand why people behave in a certain way, yeah. But
Hmm.
believe me, by reading this book, you understand that, for example, yeah, some behaviors of a Dutch people could be normal, and for you, it could be not normal, yeah. So I would say reading this book would be useful to understand that people are different, persons are different. So, and you need to understand that different culture do business different.
Hmm.
So, if you want to be more flexible in that, I guess this book will be very helpful for you.
That's very interesting. And just two more questions. What are your favorite memories from Aberdeen, from social life, not studying?
No, actually, the graduation itself,
Hmm. Graduation,
the
so.
graduation itself was very nice. I took the kilt.
Yeah.
I was there in kilt, and actually, that was very memorable day because on that day, just before the graduation, I made proposal to my wife
Wow.
just in there on the campus. Yeah, yeah, it was really a nice day.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And the last question is, what advice would you give to your younger self?
Well, uh, yeah, I'm already 37, Vadim, and when you're 37, sometimes you think that you might have done better in your life. I've traveled a lot. I visited more than 70 countries,
Wow.
and I would say I've done everything right.
Yeah.
So I was lucky enough to get in Rosen because it's really good company.
Hmm.
And I was lucky enough to get in Rosen at the time because I think getting in company at a certain time is also a factor, yeah? Because it's not always about is that you're a good specialist or good professional. Sometimes even if you're good professionals, they don't need you, yeah? So there must be time, a chance. So I would say everything was just right. And even my decision at the time to get education at Aberdeen was also a time because this helped me to become a project manager, and then
Mhm.
yeah, my career went way forward. So I would say to myself in past that yeah, you're doing everything great. Just do what you're doing. Don't think about anything else.